Mitolete abolochie, oh yeah. Mitolete abolochie, oh yeah. Mitolete abolochie, oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, sumajole.
Africa is a vibrant, diverse continent with a strong entrepreneurial spirit. It offers enormous potential for both domestic and international investors and has been steadily delivering economic growth for the last few years.
Africa is rich in resources of all kinds. Africa is growing extremely fast, and for investors both from within and outside, it's the right place to be.
However, despite its potential, Sub-Saharan Africa is consistently rated the world's least business-friendly region, with significant implications for economic growth and long-term poverty alleviation.
If you think about what slows down business anywhere in the world, but certainly in Africa, it's the real difficulty of getting things done. It's the registration of your business. It's the commercial courts and how slowly they work. It grinds people down.
ICF is working with receptive governments in collaboration with the private sector to try and address these issues.
The Investment Climate Facility, or ICF, became operational in July 2007 as a public-private partnership to remove barriers to investment in Africa.
Origins of the ICF go back to the Commission for Africa, which reported to the G8 meeting in Gleneagles in 2005. And essentially what they were saying is the best way to alleviate poverty and spread prosperity in Africa is to help Africa to grow economically.
One of our findings was that although Africa and many African countries have vast natural resources, they have labor resources, but they do not have a business climate that attracts both the local investor as well as the external investor.
ICF works to deliver fast, meaningful, and sustainable improvements to the continent's investment climate. Working in partnership with African governments, ICF project activity delivers practical improvements to the local business environment. Such improvements can significantly empower Africa's small and medium-sized enterprises, as well as increase investment levels by improving the continent's reputation as a place to do business. ICF is making Africa a better place to do business by tackling a particular issue on a project basis in a country or region where there is a full commitment from government and the local private sector. Once success has been achieved in one country, ICF works with other countries to share key learnings and introduce improvements. Key to ICF's success has been its ability to foster genuine public-private collaboration.
Just go look at the marketplaces anywhere in Africa. People say Africans aren't entrepreneurs. Just look at what happens. Look at the trading that takes place. The block is the governmental level. And now African governments are starting to realize that they're the barrier, and they're saying who can help them. And the people that can help them are actually businesses. But not just multinational businesses. I want to emphasize that when we go in with a project, we work with local businesses. We take the local business view of what needs to be done. Unless this is subscribed to by local business, by local people and by local governments, anything that we do will not have longevity. I understand that as you watch this, you've got a high level of skepticism, and that's good. But take a look at what we are able to do.
ICF's approach is working, delivering positive, measurable results quickly and efficiently across the continent. recognition of the importance of investment climates as a key economic driver is at an all-time high, with a significant number of African governments taking steps to improve their business environments. ICF takes a thematic approach to project activity, concentrating on those it believes will have a maximum impact on the investment climate. One such area is land registration, where ICF is working with a number of countries to improve processes. Registered land improves security for investors, helps prevent boundary disputes, increases access to credit. Part of the Rwandan Investment Climate Project, co-funded by the government and ICF, has digitalized the National Land Center, delivering significant improvements to land titling and registration. Out of the many services offered is the indexing of land files of the 3 districts of Kigali. Indexing being a process where data from hard copies, like paper files kept in archives, is converted into a format that can be stored onto a computer so as to avoid problems like backlog.
It's a lot easier now because we have the information stored in our computers and we have registered every citizen who comes to us with the rightful documents. Other problem we faced are when 2 or more people would dispute over one plot, but now we know the rightful owner of the plot according to the information we have stored in our computers.
With the project, we now have shortened up the time taken to register a property. So for a business person, it's very important when the time is reduced. It saves money for the business and it improves the business climate.
But today it is easy to get the land documents. In business, time is money.
Another area where ICF is focusing its efforts is improving commercial justice. A healthy business environment is as much about investor confidence as it is about opportunities and resources, so a weak or ineffective judicial system can have a severe and direct impact on a country's investment climate. In Zambia, ICF has supported the government to digitalize the judiciary.
As a judiciary, we think that it's a very, very important project. It's a project that we think will help to decongest the courts in terms of reducing the backlog. We also think that with this technology, cases will not be adjourned anyhow because a file in the registry has gone missing. This will be a thing of the past because there's an electronic version of that file.
We want to achieve a scenario where court proceedings are completed in good time as compared to the challenges that we have had in the past.
In Rwanda, the Investment Climate Project has modernized the judiciary. 4 new commercial courts have dramatically improved the efficiency of dispute resolution.
Besides equipping the commercial courts with furniture, IT equipment, internet facilities, we have also managed to acquire the digital court recording equipment, which helps to capture the audio and visual part when the court proceeding is taking place.
Before it was really a big problem because, you know, in business, time is money, and when we used ordinary courts, it was not easy for us to get a kind of the judgment, speedy judgment.
The investment climate has to be improved because we live in a globalized world. Now it's all about competition. If I were an investor and I thought there was a poor investment climate in Rwanda, I would never invest my money here. If there's not fair justice in this country, if there is corruption, if there is not good governance, the investors will never come here. They'll go elsewhere. But it's lucky that we have good governance. Now we have an improved investment climate due to all these commercial courts. Cross-border and international trade have significant potential to help fuel Africa's economic growth. More efficient customs processes will help stimulate new business opportunities, enhance competitivity, and ensure greater compliance. In Senegal, ICF has worked with the government to refine the paperless electronic customs administration system. With this paperless project, we became part of the whole logic of the trade chain, both for pre-customs clearance and customs clearance. We have worked towards a very strong integration with the customs IT system, but we were also interested in post-custom clearance, also in all port operations and removal of goods. Through this very broad coverage today, we are in a position to say that in Senegal, we have one of the most completed projects, because I don't know of any project in Africa working on the electronic processing of all external formalities. And we have been able to achieve this because of the substantial help we received from ICF. ICF is also improving the transit of goods as well as the region's reputation as a place to do business by facilitating the improvement of infrastructure. In Tanzania, ICF is working in partnership with the Tanzanian police force to improve the movement and security of goods and services.
The challenges we were facing mostly were a lot of roadblocks along the roads. A journey that was supposed to take about maybe 2 or 3 days will take us about 5 or 6 days, simply because we have too many stops.
Through Tanzania Police and ICF working together, we've been able to reduce the number of police checkpoints or police roadblocks along the Dar es Salaam-Rusumo highway from 58 to 15, and we are planning to use technology in managing the traffic along the highway. We've been impressed very much by ICF's assistance. The investment climate of this country is improving, so I'm very optimistic that the future of this country will be very good.
Improving access to credit for SMEs, the engine of Africa's future growth, is also a key area of focus for ICF. Central to this is improving business registration processes, with important additional benefits for government and civil society in terms of formalizing the economy. In Rwanda, a new one-stop shop for business registration has been established.
Prior to the Rwanda Investment Climate Project, business registration in Rwanda was extremely costly, very lengthy. Several procedures were involved. In 2005, before the Rwanda Investment Climate Project, we had about 600 companies being registered annually. After the project in 2008, we're now down to 2 procedures to register your business, and it costs just under $25. And as a result, we've seen an exponential increase in the number of companies that are being registered. So at the end of 2010, we had about over 5,000 companies registered. Our online registration systems are fully functional, and we've made online registration completely free so that we can incentivize our population to access these services and to use them.
Learnings from the project in Rwanda were used to develop a similar project in Burkina Faso.
Grâce à ICF, nous avons pu visiter cette expérience.
Because of the ICF, we have been able to visit this experience, and so we too have learned lessons from this country. We said to ourselves, if they are doing it like that, why can't we do it better? And we signed up to this process. That's the first thing. The second thing is this genuine sharing of experiences through the workshops that ICF has organized in Tanzania and elsewhere, which we have been able to attend. We have been able to make contacts with other beneficiaries of the ICF project, and we have managed to maintain these contacts. And in terms of funding too, we have found the ICF process to be really flexible.
La procédure de ICF était vraiment donc très souple.
ICF prides itself on its fast, flexible and results-oriented approach that is delivering tangible improvements to the business climate across the continent, and demand for ICF services is accelerating.
It's a public-private partnership, and it works very much as a private company would do. It identifies issues, it moves in quickly, it takes decisions rapidly and gets results fast.
ICF approach is, one is the business model they are using. We have timeline, we have to set the goals, the outputs and time frame. You have to work hard to meet the expected result.
What impressed me a lot about the approach of the ICF is that they had absolutely no external impositions or external agendas. We as a government had a very clear vision of where we wanted to take business registration, of how we wanted to improve the investment climate in our country, and ICF came on board, looked at that vision and then dedicated their resources to making that vision become a reality. So it was working hand in hand with the government to achieve the government's vision, which was quite exemplary.
Moving forwards, ICF is focused on meeting demand for its services and accelerating the pace of investment climate improvements across the continent.
We have observed over the years that we need to ensure that the improvements that have been made are sustainable, not only over the lifetime of ICF, but well beyond. So we are working hard to develop capacity to ensure there will be sustainability, but also we are linking these countries so that they can share the knowledge that has been acquired in the respective countries. So for us, going forward, we want to ensure that we disseminate the lessons learned, the best practices that have been undertaken, so that more countries take up the challenge to improve the investment climate.
ICF's achievements to date have only been possible due to the active and generous support of governments, development partners, and the private sector.
The call to action is simple. Take a good look at what we're doing and join us.
We had a concept which is now proven in practice. The work which has been done in partnership with government and hand in hand with the private sector is demonstrating what can be done quickly to improve the climate for investment in meaningful and measurable ways. And this is freeing up local business. It's making it much easier for potential foreign investors to move in and start their businesses quickly. And we're already seeing the benefits in terms of the stimulus that is giving to economic growth. That is the only measurement of ICF's success. Does it in time lead to improved economic growth? And the evidence is now there for everybody to see. So please get engaged now, because we're involved in some work which will have a lasting impact on the entire continent.
And so I would say to governments, look at yourselves, look at your structures, and see whether there isn't a need for reform. To the private sector, I would say be less inhibited in putting forward suggestions about how to improve the climate in the country for investment.